That looks pretty good. Happy Tuesday!
Yay! Good morning.
Good morning. Hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
I was about to dive into weather stuff, but let's do introductions because that's quasi-weather too high. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in rather balmy and trying to dry out Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
I was going to say, I was getting ahead of myself. I was going to say I wore my Lara pullover in today because that's the one I took home with me. Super bulky. Like, what is it? Alpaca merino?
Yeah.
Fuzziness, loveliness. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. So hot. Didn't even wear a coat in today. Just wore this and had to take it off.
It's supposed to be like almost 70 today.
And it's still February.
It's okay.
We still have a week of frog it or finish it or frog it. I keep wanting to flip those around. February. My brain, big surprise. My brain's a little off today. Yeah, so it's warm out. Like, I put this on. I threw this on because, it's my most recent finish. I want to show it off. I'm already hot. I'm going to try to wear it. Because I figured the cardigan, I can breathe. But yeah, it's toasty out. I'll have to put out something lightweight or just a shawl today.
Sure.
Oh, because I'm thinking about it and we can show people. We had a request to move this because it's blocking the view of things. But guess what? I will move it, but guess what?
It's still
It's covering up our microphone. So we might see a little bit more like right here.
Yeah.
So we'll try that. I still want this on the table though. Not that we do lessons here. We used to do lessons and gatherings here. And shawls, things. Okay. So now you get a lovely view of the back of our microphone. Because we can't move that. So, anyway. I'm trying to think through. Okay, I'm hot. Yay, said that.
Okay.
Do we want to do anniversary now or at the end?
Let's do it now, and then we can recap at the end too.
Smart. Okay. So and while we're like, as I have moments, because it's frog it, finish it or frog it, February. I'm focusing on frogging today. That's what I'm doing on Tuesdays. So I'm wanting to flip it. Anniversary in just a second, but I want to start pulling on this. So, because it's already coming off the needles here. This is my frogger for today. And I think, shout out to Marin, she's going to be like, but I thought you were going to frog that last. I don't know, whatever. We've got a week. This is a Papillon. This either was my second or third. I can't remember if I started this No, third or fourth. I did the rainbow one, and then the butterfly colors, the basketball one. I call it a basketball.
Yeah.
Because it looked like that at first. Looks like a monarch butterfly now. It's lovely. I can't remember if I started.
You did the moth next.
And then this was going to be another moth. Both of the yarns in this, the Barocco quinoa, and it's not Chi-Chi, it's Mirasol Concha. They've both been discontinued, and I don't think we have any of it left in the shop, or very little, right? Because it's been scarfed up. So, and I ran out of the joy of making this. It wasn't making my heart sing. So I'm gonna frog it, and I'm gonna reclaim, like, not 1 billion, but close to it, the little stitch markers that are in this. So, anniversary. Why are we celebrating an anniversary, Liz? Because I talk too much.
The 18th. The
18th of February,
18th was our 3-year anniversary of filming.
Yes. Not 2, but 3. No. It feels like it hasn't been that long.
See, you retain way more information than I do, because I'm still like, it's only been 2 years.
It's only been 2 years. Well, because it's one long March, right?
Yeah.
So over the weekend, we hit our mark for filming, our anniversary of filming. We have so many anniversaries. We have the anniversary of the shop opening. That's in August. We have the anniversary of moving to a larger space. That's in September. And February is when we started doing YouTube stuff. So, yay, it's been 3 years. That's not the code. It's close to that, though. So we figured, because we like to celebrate and give y'all discounts. And this one is like, the math nerd in me is like, it was on the 18th, and it was 3 years, and 18 is a multiple of 3.
Ooh.
So we are going to offer 18% off. We just had a big 25% off sale. We can't do those all the time. I mean, it compels people to spend money, which is lovely. But if we always had 25% off sales, we couldn't stay in business. So 18% off. It's only for people who are watching YouTube. We are not going to put this out on social media. And I'm like half focused on this because I'm also focused on frogging. Not losing these stitch markers. The code is going to be very ingeniously creative Sideshow 3 years. I will set it up so that the number, I almost said letter, the number 3 or written out THREE will work. I will set both of them up to work. Sideshow 3 years. All smushed together. Don't separate the words. Do not separate the words because I get because we have one code that has words separated. It gets confusing, but that code I can't change at this point because it's been set up for forever. Everything else that we put out, we will smush together. So Sideshow 3 years, and we're gonna have the sale run for the filming week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can save on all physical items in the shop, in the online shop, or in the shop here. We're going to exclude things like patterns and pre-orders, and it's on what we actually have in stock right now. And honestly, there's a lot of things I need to reorder, but winter is rough, so I don't have the cash flow to reorder it right now. So some of my favorite yarns, we have really random stock on. But if you buy stuff, that helps our cash flow, and then I can order more. So everybody wins. Yay! Yay! So what fun little things or small projects, perhaps, if we don't have the inventory you want. Oh, look at all these stitch markers. Woo-hoo.
I know, you're getting quite a pile of them. Mm-hmm. That was a whole lot bigger than...
Oh, it was in section 2.
Yeah.
But I really, it had fallen off the needle enough, and I wasn't going to finish this. We had someone who, one of the things I frogged... Oh, and that's over. I got to go grab the yarn for that when I talk about what I've frogged this week. They said, "Oh, that was so pretty. I'm sad you frogged it." Yes, it was, and I can't hold on to everything, and I need to let go of some things. And it was another discontinued colorway, and there were many reasons I frogged some of the things I frogged this week. So I have needles that are ones we don't sell in the shop anymore that I just freed up. I have, I'm not going to take all of these off, but I just freed up a whole bunch of these. I want to say it's probably about 20 stitch markers or so. Since it was in the middle of the row, I finally get to hold this up so y'all can see how far I got. Ta-da! I'm about to frog all this.
Wow.
I'm not going to finish on the show.
No.
Because that's life. But I have 3 finished papillons, and I have 2 more on needles that one of them, even though we don't really have that color of yarn anymore, I will finish because it's very close to being done. But this one is going to go. So I'm going to go grab my frogged yarn to bring over here, and why don't you start filling people in?
What I've done?
Yeah, what did you do this weekend, Liz?
I finished 2 sets of sleeves on sweaters. I am still working on the torso of this, but I'm finally to the what normal people would do is ribbing. I'm doing seed stitch.
Normal people, there's any such thing. The traditional end too. Maybe. Yeah. I'm going to be semantically whatever here. Yeah, but yeah,
it's all good. So this is my striped sweater with sleeves. It's also
that
textured
is super
and
cute. Textured with Morse code.
With Morse code, yes.
That is, I love the stripes on that. Hold that up again.
Cute.
I love it. So the stripes, it looks like, are 3 rows apiece.
Three rows for each stripe. Yep, and then 3 different colors. So
nice.
a whole section is 9, or a whole set is 9. I am, if I have enough yarn, and I'm going to end on a red stripe. So, because
then it'll match. I mean, you can do what, on my striped sweater, I ended with the right color, even though it wasn't the right color in the sequence.
Yeah.
But it depends on how much that bugs you, if you want to do that or not.
I have enough.
Okay.
To,
if it made it too long or something, right, to do that. So
I have enough because I just started the dark gray and for my seed stitch border, and then I'll do the light gray, and then I'll probably only do 2 rows of the red and bind off.
Okay.
So it looks like 3 rows.
Yeah.
I did finish my sleeveys on the light gray. So
I think that's cute though, because the sleeves are always longer than the rest of it.
Yeah. So I finished the sleeves, and then I have my little oh, there's another ball. It's on the floor. Anyway, the ball's hanging off because, I'll just have to weave in ends at the very.
I love how what's keeping them from like unraveling?
Hair elastics.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I was like,
I love it.
How to keep them dangly and not falling everywhere. So I'm doing the hem on that. I finished my thistle sweater.
So she's actually participating in Finish It or Frog It February unintentionally. Yay!
And this one will be a good sweater to wear outside today while the wind's blowing.
Lovely.
It's lightweight.
Oh, that's the other thing I was going to do. Oh.
I do have ends that need to be woven in, and it could get blocked.
Don't we all?
It probably won't. Last week, right before, Friday, I started a new cardigan. And
yours is in the fuzzy yarn like mine.
Yes.
Mine is like, we had someone come in last week who was like, "Oh, this alpaca is lovely. Does it, will it pill?" And then they were asking about felting, and I'm like, it's animal fiber, so it'll felt. But somehow we got off topic, so I couldn't finish that conversation. But this, I have fuzzies I could pull up. I'm kind of like, part of me wants to see how much it felts up and stops, and part of me wants to pull all the fuzzies off. Yeah. So just be forewarned,
I'm fine with that.
It will kind of felt and fuzz up. But continue. That is my favorite color of this yarn. I love this. That is my favorite color of this yarn because I love green.
So, I'm not going to I'll talk about issues with the pattern, but Rebecca will put the pattern in what we did today.
I mean, I can say, because she's having issues with the pattern, you should contact us to find out what it is, because it's not for the faint of heart, right?
It's not difficult.
Okay.
The issue that I see is she is Norwegian, I think, but she does combination knitting. And so she has wonderful videos where she shows what she's doing, but she does it in combination knitting. And
what is combination knitting?
Combination knitting is...
Can I steal your phone for a second?
My phone?
I want to take a picture of this. Oh. I can't because I'm filming on that. I'm sorry. I'm distracting in the middle of this because I have, thoughts. And
combination knitting is where you wrap the yarn different than traditional knitting. So
my understanding is you wrap your pearls differently and then have to knit through the back loop type of a deal. But one of them's wrapped differently.
I also noticed she wraps her yarn overs from top to front instead of bottom over to the back.
Top to front. Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah. So
I wanted to record for posterity when I'm frogging.
Some of the... with the instructions, I'm like, okay, I have to go watch the video. And I go watch the video, and I have to translate what she's doing in combination knitting into my continental knitting. And which once I figured out what she was doing, it's not difficult.
Are the words in the pattern written for combination knitting, or are they just hard to figure out?
I figured out there's this fantastic section right underneath. Let me pull this up. Right there before the garter, after the ribbed edge. And basically what you're doing is you're doing double knit. But she has you purl one, slip one with yarn in back. But, like, you have to watch the videos to kind of figure that out. And then at the end, she's like, knit two together, or something. It's a slip, knit. Okay. Yeah. And so it's like...
She's got different lingo.
Different lingo.
Is she a native English speaker?
I don't think so. I think she's...
And that could be where some of it, the translation of her pattern may not translate the same way that someone who does... like English stuff would recognize.
So, like, if you're cool looking at someone's knitting and going, hey, I recognize what they're doing there, it's not difficult. But if you, like, we have some knitters who, when they watch a continental knitting video, they're like, but I'm an English knitter. And
they visually can't process what's going on, even though the stitches will come out the same.
Yeah. And this is like, take that and just, go up and even bigger. So it's a awesome pattern. I think it's still well written, even though you have to change the vocabulary and watch the videos and translate those in your brain. She ends it with fisherman's rib, and I'm switching that to two-color brioche. And I'm going to use the dark teal in Rebecca's sweater. This is my homage to Rebecca.
Because it's my favorite color that I have knit with.
I picked her favorite color of the yarn and the yarn she used for her last sweater, and I'm like...
It's not to throw it in my face, it's an homage.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
So...
yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, wait, we'll put it... I'll try to remember... My brain, again, is off today. We'll try to remember to get your pattern name and put it in the description with the caveat that... I mean, this is why there are some patterns I don't put up as shop samples myself or make myself. If it gets too complicated for someone to understand at home, except for the most hardy of knitters, then sometimes it won't become a pattern in my shop. And I always have the caveat that not all patterns, I mean, nothing against this pattern writer, but not all patterns are good patterns or easy to follow patterns. Doesn't mean that it's a bad pattern, but it's written for different styles, different lingos.
Well, and I tend to go out of my way to find European patterns that, like, I like the European patterns.
The things you're looking for.
The things I look for are not necessarily going to be written for American knitting, which,
stylistically, you like things that are a little different, too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So this one was just, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. And so...
and if you ever feel that way about a pattern, then you have to sometimes get on the struggle bus to figure out what's going on in that pattern. If you really, really love it and want to make it.
When I was working on it last week I was sitting outside with Carol and the yarn overs, and then you have to purl through the back loop of the yarn over to twist the stitch.
I do that sometimes.
But
it tightens up the ones I might knit to purl to.
Yeah, it tightens up the purl. But I hadn't done it in a while, and so I sat there for probably 5 minutes going, I hold my yarn in the back because I do Norwegian purl. And I have to purl through the back loop.
Oh, that's extra stretchy and fun. I'm visualizing in my head.
You bring your needle behind the yarn and go up through the middle of it and then bring everything back down through the middle.
I'm visualizing.
Yeah. Once I get into the rhythm of it, it's not hard, but I sat there for like 5+ minutes going, wait, I can't remember how I did this the last time. And it does twist the
It's a new skill, even for those of us who are called the experts in things. New skills can be challenging, can make you feel like you're all thumbs.
Yeah. And this yarn is like fuzzy, and it's not got a real tight twist on it. It has a very loose twist. And so when I'm going up through the middle, I'm like, I've got two sides of like, and trying to, you know, make sure I don't snag anything. And yeah, it's,
Yep.
It's interesting, but it's not bad. It's just going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can handle different.
And some people will say, of course I can. And then you'll start the pattern and go, what? But, or you might say, piece of cake. Yeah. I've still only managed to frog back to the beginning through all that time that you were just talking, only back to section 1. I'm still at the dividing line between section 2 and section 1. So, but, and a lot of this, especially if it's yarn we don't have in the shop anymore, may end up in minion bags of mystery, like for the yarn crawl. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we're going to be making these, if Liz will have time to make these before the yarn crawl. The Western North Carolina yarn crawl will be the week leading up to Mother's Day, which this year is May 9th through 13th. And we have 10 shops participating. And some of our fun things are to have an overabundance of Surprise Me sale bin support boxes and minion bags of mystery, which all fall on Liz. But
I have decided that I am taking February to not, and will like freak out March
to
not do minion bags.
Okay,
or
I was like, what's the end of that sentence? What are you not doing? Working? Anything? What?
Well, I mean, normal stuff, but to not focus on the yarn crawl. And then
I'm already finding it's too late if I do that, but that's me as a quasi organizer or just herder of cats.
March and April, I will be losing my ever loving mind. So, well, I mean, you know. Procrastinate.
I know.
So.
Okay, these are going to fall off, and I should talk about my stuff, which is going to take a hot minute. Okay, so frogging this. I brought my computer over in case there's time I can look up where my total tally is. Like next week will be the ultimate. This is the penultimate check-in before the end of February. So frogging things. Let's see I was like, where did I put it? The basket. Frogging things. I frogged and then Carol balled back up for me. I frogged my Rick Rack by Casapinka, and I can't remember if I showed you all this already. I might have, but because this might have been last week actually. But Carol balled it up all nice, and I really want to do that brioche hat out of this. As I'm saying that, I'm thinking we might have already told you all about this, but my local yarn store day shawl of the year from last year, I could always hold on to it and do it for the shawl of local yarn store day is going to be April 29th, if that is a Saturday this year. And there's often patterns and things you can get free with yarn purchase to help support local yarn shops. So I have that one. This is the Rick Rack that I frogged. The one that at least one person online was like, oh, but it was so pretty. It was.
Not the Rick Rack, the zigzag.
Yes, because the other one's the Rick Rack. Brain, did I mention? This is why Liz is here, to help keep me on track.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
This says, this colorway of Perth is discontinued. So, the zigzag, you can see how my brain would confuse them if I'm not paying attention. 2 colorways of Perth. It was designed for, I can't remember the yarn now, but for another fingering weight yarn that changes color and does fun stuff. And the colors were slowly changing. It does a little chevron. And the cool thing about the zigzag is that every row is the same. Going over and going back, you're doing the exact same thing, and then every 2 rows you're changing colors. So you get these stripes that are chevron-y and changing colors, and I had stalled out and gotten really, really bored with it. And that doesn't mean someone else won't get bored with it. And it wasn't going to function well as a shop sample if people said, that's pretty, I want that exactly, and we don't have this color anymore. So that went into my choice of frogging that one.
It's not necessarily mindless because you have to pay attention to the just a few stitch repeat.
Yes, it's not mindless, but it is repetitive.
Yes.
But you do have to really get into the rhythm of it, and if you can't get into the rhythm of it, be really paying attention.
It was difficult to work on knit night. Like, I've started one, and paying attention to where you are and talking didn't work.
I finished frogging my favorite flannel. So this is the basket. I'm going to have to get a bigger one of the yarn from the frogging or binding off that I intend to maybe use in other things. So I've got a big basket of that I will add these yarns to. On the binding off front, so I didn't frog it, but I'm done with it. This guy I bound off this week. This is the confetti scarf by Pearl Soho. And I still had a lot of yarn left, and this is not quite a long, fashionable scarf length, but it was sitting in timeout and no one knew it existed for a couple of years now. This, when I started, it was so much fun because you are knitting on size 15 needles, and you are holding 7 strands of yarn together. And the way she had designed it is 3 of the same color, like say 3 whites or something, and then 4 other really random yarns, or maybe, color coordinating, but different yarns. And so it's like the ultimate marling on steroids, and it is hefty. Like, this is heavy. I want to say I got to, it's, especially when you hold it out, it's like 4 feet long. It was only like 30 or 40 stitches across. I got a little more knitting done in it last week. I kind of was getting into the rhythm of it, going, ooh, this is fun. But I need to move on.
I would say that could be an awesome weighted blanket with all your leftover scraps.
Right? Mm-hmm. If you have a whole lot of leftover. Because, this bag is full of my leftovers. So I had 3 grays, which threw my inventory off for a while. I've got them all stuck together. Like this is what it looked like when I was knitting. I was pulling on all of them, and I have them connected here. I have 3 gray Cascade Heritage. And then I went with these 2 colors. I was like, what do I have with the grays? This is Cascade Heritage paints that we don't even have in stock anymore. And this is Huasco sock from Arcania, and see how they have these greens and these reds in there. So that made 5. So then I think this is the Jasmine, maybe? Yeah. Heritage in a bright green that went with the greens in there. And then a Heritage Wave that had reds and grays in it. And the result, you would never guess all those yarns are in here. So it's really fun, but yet 7 skeins of yarn for a scarf. And not everyone's going to want to invest 7 skeins of yarn in. What I'm curious about right now, I'm going to put them on the scale here for a second. I'm curious. I have just over 30 grams. I'm going to check another one. Somehow this one I have 38. 32, 38, that's 2/3 of the skeins of yarn are in there. It's about 34, 33. I have about 1/3 of each skein left. So there's enough of these to go into Minion Bags of Mystery, because those are 25 grams for our most classic version of that. So this, if it's about 4 feet, let's say it's 45 inches long, I could get maybe another 20 inches out of it if I had kept going. And I think the Pearl Soho pattern, again, it's called the confetti scarf. I think it was planning for it to be 60 to 70 inches long if you just went until you ran out of yarn. That's essentially what the pattern is. And it's stockinette. It's super easy once you cast on. It's knit on this side, purl on that side. And it does curl, because stockinette curls, and it curls up at the bottom, and that was just the intended. Super easy, but somewhat cumbersome, and I was not getting back to it. If you look at this, different parts of it, different colors pop out, right? So, but I'm going to move on, because I have other things to talk about, and we have 10 minutes left, and I have intro crochet coming in. So I bound this off. What I finished this week, I'm going to try to... I finished my Rebel Squirrels, which I'm super excited about.
I haven't seen it. Well, I mean, I saw the picture of it.
Well, and here's the interesting thing. I was like, I'm not going to twist it when I do the Kitchener. It was a long tube, and then I Kitchenered it. And I tried not to twist it, but to line up my beginning and end, and it's twisted. So I think that's just a part of this pattern. These are all my little squirrels, and it's squirrel color work. The whole idea of Rebel Squirrels is that, and I might just talk about other things. There's one sweater that I'm not done with that I will hold off on until maybe Thursday. But this one, all the squirrels go the same direction. I don't know if you can see the little squirrels. It's really simple color work, and I have not blocked this, and I might not have time to. But every once in a while, you throw in a rebel squirrel who is either facing the other direction or upside down. And I have to tell Amy D, because she's like, you could turn one on its side. I said it was 10 stitches wide by, like, the squirrel itself by 9 stitches high. I think there's two, it's a 10 stitch repeat, and there's 2 stitches between the squirrels. So the squirrels are actually 8 stitches wide by 8 stitches high, because I realized the nine included like a row of knitting or something like that. So maybe they are square, and maybe you could put them on their side, but it would take some brain work. I kept this little piece of yarn right here, so you could tell, I could tell for customers where I Kitchenered. I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Kitchener is when you do a sewn bind off connecting the end to the beginning of all live stitches. So
making them look like they are live stitches. Connecting.
Yeah, making them look like they are just knit stitches. Absolutely. Okay, so here's a rebel. I put a rebel right in at the end. This squirrel is facing the other direction. And on that same row, I also put in an upside down squirrel. So this guy is upside down, and all the other squirrels are facing the same direction. So this cowl just barely fits around my neck. It's super cute. I still had plenty of yarn left. I was starting to get a little low. I used Cascade Heritage Silk. I was starting to get a little low on the green, but I still have plenty of white. And so that's another fun one that I finished. I have been madly crocheting. I think that's part of why my shoulders hurt lately. I wanted to get at least one crochet thing done this month. And this guy's almost done. I have all the balls of yarn inside here. First of all, to show you. So this is the super simple log cabin shawl. And this is how much, see?
Oh, wow.
I'm almost done with these. I really, like, I could have called it quits on this any time in the past week, and I really want to see how far, only 3 skeins of sport weight, but fingering yardage. So it's thin but fluffy. Alpaca and merino. So 430 whatever times 3. How far that will get me on this shawl. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's huge. And I'm not done yet. So there's my shawl so far. And I really want to, maybe tonight or tomorrow, kick this guy, like, use up as much as I possibly can. I think I can get one more section out of the light color. I'm almost done with my dark blue. But if you want to talk about, like, ends to weave in, I've got a ton of ends to weave in on this. So this is, again, the super simple log cabin shawl by Addie Van Norrell. It was a crochet along last year. But I really wanted this to be a warm, cozy shop sample.
It'll be, like, really nice and cozy.
And I may not even bother blocking this.
I wouldn't.
Blocking could make it bigger, but it's nice and fluffy and warm and big enough as it is. So the last thing before we go is this. I was going to put on barber cords and try it on, but I'll have to do that Thursday or just when it's done, or next Tuesday. I got the collar onto, I stopped here and did the collar and went back to here. The collar on my Ready Set Raglan Elowen pullover. It's still on needles, so I don't have the barber cords or the time to put on barber cords for y'all to show you. But the leftovers from the sleeves, Like, I just finished the leftovers from the sleeves going onto the torso, and I'm at about 9 inches. It needs more. It's not long enough. It'd be long enough for the ribbing and everything if I liked crop, and I don't like crop stuff. So this guy is almost done. I was hoping to have him done for today, but I focused on the crochet, and between filming and newsletter yesterday and all the kinds of things I want to do for everybody, hasn't happened yet.
You're not yarn.
I'm not yarn. Can't make everyone happy. I'm not yarn. But I try to do all the yarny things, right? So, look for more updates in the future. We have virtual sit and stitch tonight. My watch is telling me to breathe. We have virtual sit and stitch tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom. Get in with the shop phone number.
828-877-3550.
There we go. And see which one I'm working on or which one I finish, that kind of thing. Oh, I'm noticing things here I need to put away. The code for the online shop or coming into the store is SIDESHOWTHREEYEARS, and it will save you 18%, which is almost 20%. So close to 20%, it's almost like you're saving 20, but you're saving 18. And if you come into the shop and say, congratulations on 3 years filming, make sure you repeat that when we're checking you out, or else we will forget. So, that will run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those 3 days of the week. And we will remind you all 3 days we are filming this week. By the way, that is the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of February. In case you're watching this at another time and say, but you said it was this week. It's the week that we're filming it. All right? Okay. Tomorrow we'll put something on sale that will be on sale until the following Wednesday. And we don't know what that is yet. So
we don't ever know until...
We don't ever know. We
might have ideas, but we don't know.
I gotta go get ready for my intro crochet. So I'm already hot in this. Maybe I'll just wear my Rebel Squirrel today. Because I don't mean to be stripping, but isn't this cute? It's so cute. I'm so glad I finished it. Finished it or frog it February. Yay!
It is adorable.
Frogging the things or binding off the things that I know I will never get done has given me more energy and time to get other things done. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.